I knew nothing but the cool, sterile air of Vault 34. I grew up on tales of the world above, stories whispered by the elders. A world of sun and sky, danger and freedom. My world was different, orderly, predictable, safe. I spent my days learning to maintain the hydroponics gardens, a vital role in our self-sufficient community. I never questioned my place, not until I turned 18. That's when my father, a weathered man with sad eyes, gifted me a worn, leather-bound book, a pre-war relic. It depicted the world before, a world bursting with color and life. Something stirred within me, a longing for something more.
The next morning, Jason packed a bag. He took only the essentials, a water purifier, a worn map of the surrounding area, and the book. He left a note for his parents, promising to return, but knowing in his heart it was a lie. As the heavy vault door hissed shut behind him, the sunlight hit him like a physical blow. It was terrifying, exhilarating. Jason Atwood was finally free. He took a deep breath of the dry desert air, a stark contrast to the recycled air of the vault. His journey had begun. The wasteland was a harsh mistress. The days were scorching, the nights freezing. Jason quickly learned the value of water, of shelter, of trust. He encountered other survivors, some kind, some cruel. He learned to read the subtle cues, to differentiate between friend and foe. He started small, trading what little he had for food and water. He learned to scavenge, to repair, to barter. He embraced the art of the deal, the thrill of survival.
My travels took me through abandoned towns, their skeletal remains picked clean by the wind and the desperate. I learned to avoid the glowing craters, the silent testament to the bombs that had ended the world. I discovered a knack for finding valuable relics amongst the rubble. A rusty Zippo lighter here, a pristine Nuka-Cola bottle there. I traded these treasures for necessities and slowly, steadily, built up my inventory. I purchased a sturdy Brahmin, its leathery hide toughened by years under the unforgiving sun. I named her Bess. She became my companion, my mode of transport, a silent witness to my transformation from vault dweller to wasteland trader.
The wasteland was a tapestry of danger and beauty. One day, while traversing a vast, sun-baked desert, Jason encountered his first rad scorpion. The creature was a monstrosity, its chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh sun, its claws like jagged scythes. Bess bucked, her fear palpable. Jason, armed with only a rusty pipe pistol, stood his ground.
I remembered my father's stories, tales of bravery and cunning in the face of overwhelming odds. I fired, the sound pathetic in the vast emptiness. The shot hit its mark, but the creature barely flinched. It lunged, its stinger dripping venom. I rolled aside, adrenaline surging through my veins. I emptied my pistol into the creature's underbelly, each shot a prayer. Finally, with a shuddering groan, the scorpion collapsed, its legs twitching one last time. Shaking with exhaustion and relief, I leaned against Bess, my heart pounding against my ribs. I had stared death in the face and emerged victorious. I had become a true child of the wasteland.
Jason's reputation as a trader grew. He was known for his honesty, his fairness, and his uncanny ability to find valuable goods in the most unlikely places. One day, while navigating the crumbling ruins of what was once a bustling city, he encountered his destiny. He was ambushed.
Raiders, clad in leather and spiked armor, descended upon me like wolves on a wounded animal. They were ruthless, efficient, and terrifying.
Their leader was a vision. She had short, vibrant purple hair, shaved on one side, and piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through Jason. She moved with a grace that belied her savage surroundings, her voice a husky whisper that sent shivers down his spine. She relieved Jason of his goods, her touch lingering on his arm a beat too long. As quickly as they had appeared, they vanished, leaving Jason and Bess coated in dust and the bitter taste of defeat. But in the aftermath, as he took stock of his losses, Jason realized something unexpected.
I wasn't angry. I was intrigued. I'd never met anyone like her.
Jason rebuilt. He always did. He traded, scavenged, and hustled, his mind never far from the image of the purple-haired raider. He started asking questions, careful inquiries whispered in hushed tones in the shadiest of taverns. He learned her name, Serafina. She was the leader of the Vipers, a notorious raider gang that controlled the Northern Territories.
She had a reputation for being as ruthless as she was beautiful.
Jason was undeterred. He doubled his efforts, trading his way into a small fortune in chems, knowing they were Serafina's weakness. He learned of a hidden valley, a place where the Vipers made their camp. It was a perilous journey, fraught with danger at every turn, but Jason was driven by a force he couldn't explain. He had to see her again. The entrance to the Vipers' camp was a gruesome spectacle. Spiked heads of raiders from rival gangs adorned pikes, a stark warning to any who dared trespass. Jason swallowed his fear and approached, his heart hammering in his chest. He was brought before Serafina. She sat on a throne made from scrap metal and animal bones. Her blue eyes narrowed as she regarded him. He didn't flinch. He laid out the chems, a king's ransom, at her feet.
I'm not here to trade.
Then why are you here?
For you.
He poured out his heart, telling her of his fascination, his admiration, his growing feelings. Serafina listened patiently, a hint of amusement flickering in her eyes. When he finished, she stood, her face unreadable. She walked up to him, close enough that he could smell the scent of dust, and something vaguely floral clinging to her. She punched him hard in the jaw. Jason staggered, but he stayed on his feet. Serafina threw back her head and laughed, a sound that echoed through the valley.
You're all right, but I don't make things easy. Come back when you have something more interesting to offer.